Hello everybody, it's vanburman here. Welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about the PlayStation 4K, or as its codename Neo, and I just really want to give my opinion on it. But before I do that, I just want to alert you all to my new poster, which is not staying on the wall very well. It's rebelling against its master. If you should want to see it, there it is right there. It's not completely straight either. I've ordered some more tape, but I used it all putting it up. So it's a depiction of Valhalla, and a pretty nice one, in fact. I think you all agree. So that's pretty much my room done now. As soon as I've managed to stick the mask on the wall, I think we're about there with that. But anyway, moving on to the topic at hand. The PlayStation 4K, as I'm going to start calling it, coming out, well, been announced. We've had the spec as well. So they can start with the spec. It's readily available online if you do want to go and check it out. But I feel like Sony's maybe done us down a bit if they're going to release a powered PlayStation 4. Personally, I would have thought they'd have gone with something maybe a little bit more powerful. I know they're overclocking the CPU, put a better graphics processor in. I mean, I sort of understand where they're coming from with it. They couldn't make it too powerful, or as it might cost too much, or it might, well, usurp the current console. So we're in a bit of a weird position at the moment. I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but I think it will go one or two ways. You will either have pretty much everyone adopt it, or you will have virtually no one apart from the major enthusiasts adopt it. I mean, I can't really imagine parents going out and buying their children a new PlayStation 4 because it runs slightly quicker, personally. Even though I think it's a good idea, and I'm all up for consoles improving. In fact, I'd like consoles to be right on par with, equivalent of a £600-700 PC. Just then, because gaming is always defined by its lowest common denominator, really. If you want to have a multi-platform, massive selling game, it has to be good enough to run on your Xbox One as it does on your PlayStation 4 as it does on your PC. So if the common denominator is risen up, it means basically a better gaming experience for everybody. So in that sense, I don't disagree with it. I just don't think this tactic is going to be particularly fruitful for Sony, really, in the, long run, short run, any of the runs, quite frankly. But it is an interesting idea that they're embarking on. And I just feel the main problem is that you're adding all this horsepower and then set all these arbitrary guidelines for developers to do, and that they, have to have, basically forcing them into more development time to do with the system rather than on the game. It has to be compatible with the Neo. They have to release a day one update that makes it compatible with it to utilize or not utilize the extra power that it's given, which of course hopefully games naturally will if there is a surplus of CPU, GPU power. I don't know if the RAM's been upped. Or no, the bandwidth's been upped slightly, I believe. And of course they're not throwing in an SSD either, but a terabyte SSD is going to be stupidly expensive even still now to put in a gaming console. And of course that's probably one of the biggest updates you can do over a traditional hard drive anyway, as we all know from whether you got a PC or a laptop or whatever it happens to be. But I digress. I am looking forward to it coming out. I want to see how it does. I think it's quite an interesting project that Sony are doing. I maybe just feel as though Sony are a little bit more ballsy in the console market now because of how well they're doing over Microsoft. It's basically indisputable that the PlayStation, or Sony, sorry, have won this generation with the PlayStation 4, obviously. And then, of course, it gives them a lot more leeway to try something like this to see if it will work. And I suppose the same with the PlayStation VR. I'm not really sure how that's going to work. I mean, no doubt the PlayStation VR is going to perform much better on the upgraded PlayStation. Maybe that's something they'll try and market it at. You know, sort of more enthusiast market, I suppose. Although anyone who is enthusiast on games is probably going to have bought themselves a gaming PC. But there you go. So that's the end of it, really. That's all I really think about it. I don't believe it will really take off, in my honest opinion, but I am interested to see how it does. I personally won't be picking one up myself. Probably just keep my standard PlayStation. I mean, I hardly use it for anything anyway, basically just to play with some of my work colleagues and my friends on FIFA or Rocket League or whatever. So, you know, it's not my primary gaming machine. If it was, then I probably would consider upgrading, yeah. But anyway, so I'm using these headphones, as you know from last video. I just wanted to let you know that that review is still coming, and we'll have to see how that develops. So I'm really tired. I was just sitting around listening to some Mount Eden, listening to some music, and just felt like I wanted to do a video on how I feel about the PlayStation 4K, or Neo, whatever you want to call it. But I don't own a 4K TV or anything like that, so really doesn't benefit me in the slightest being able to stream Netflix in 4K. I'm sure some people it will, but you can stream Netflix on practically anything nowadays, so I don't see why that's needed. Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. If you got a strong opinion on it, or you particularly disagree or agree with me, please put it down in the comments and I'll get back to you as always. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all very soon. Goodbye.